What is going on, good people of YouTube? I'm ImJslay. Thank you so much for joining me, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're playing some Madden 21, kind of, but before we get into it, if you enjoy the content, leave a like rating, and if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. If you missed our previous video, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for you to go check it out, but in it, we have episode number 3 of Rebuilding the Atlanta Falcons. So for today's video, I am going to be discussing another dual theme team that is very solid to run in MUT. We're going to be going over the players, we're going to be going over the abilities, I'm even going to tell you how much this team is going to cost. So stick around. In a minute or so, we're going to get right to that. I'm going to leave a timestamp so you can go right to that part of the video. But first, I'm going to touch on this server issue. The whole reason why I'm even making a video in this format. If you didn't know, the Madden servers have been down. If you're watching this video, you knew this already. The Madden servers have been down since Thursday, November the 5th for me. I think some have even reported it for them as being down as early as Wednesday, maybe Thursday, maybe early Thursday morning. It all was related to the patch that came out, and it's been for Xbox, for PC, and for PlayStation 4. The thing that concerns me the most with this is obviously Monday. I'm recording this on Sunday night. You're watching this on Monday. These servers are still down. Now, the concerning part is EA, the Madden NFL Direct Twitter account, have made only a couple tweets regarding this. There's very little information regarding what's being done, when the permanent fix is coming, how long can we expect this. They have issued a workaround. For Xbox and PC, it seems like it's a pretty simple workaround. If you're like me and you're on PlayStation 4, though, it was not simple at all. And it's a workaround I can't even do for reasons I'll get into in a second. But that PS4 workaround requires you to completely delete and uninstall the game and then reinstall it. Now, I've even had some that have said I have not even been able to get back in once I have deleted the game and reinstalled it, or some have been able to get in, but once they've closed the app or turned their PlayStation off, they're running right back into the same issue. So even with the workaround, it still doesn't seem like it's been a reliable fix for some. Yes, I know there are a lot that have been able to play the game normally, and awesome, congrats to you. I'm glad you've been able to do that. You should be able to do that. But for us who haven't, and for us who are unable to do this workaround, where I live, unfortunately, I don't have unlimited internet, so I can't go through and delete a game and then reinstall that game that has 45 gigabytes of data that's going to be used to install that game. That's almost 3 months worth of internet for me. As sad as that is, that's a lot of internet, and I can't afford to do that, so I'm stuck not being able to play the game. Unfortunately, though, I have found a little workaround as far as being able to make content. We're on Muthead today. We're going to be going through this dual theme team. I want to give a big shout out. All the information I have for him is his Twitter. It's at TheMarksman13. He put together a superstar ability threshold spreadsheet that I cannot unfortunately find. I do have it downloaded, but I can't find where I originally downloaded it from. But his Twitter is at TheMarksman13. He may be able to give you some more insight as to where you can go to get that information, right? But the cool thing about it is that he has the thresholds for every single archetype and every single ability in the game. So it really helps to see that, so you're not going through buying cornerback A thinking that that cornerback can get a certain ability at a certain tier slot, right? It makes it very easy when comparing cornerback A to cornerback B, or quarterback A to quarterback B, and knowing what abilities they can get. So I want to give a huge shout out to them, to that at TheMarksman13 on Twitter for doing that. I'll leave his Twitter linked in the description of this video here. But I really hope EA gets this together. I hope we get some more information regarding it on the Good Morning Madden stream, which has already happened as you're seeing this video. I just hope they can get this resolved, but I'm very disappointed in the lack of information and the lack of feedback to the community. It's just very disheartening. It really is. Okay, so we are here on Muthead, and as you can see, Underneath the rankings of the offense and defense for this team, we are doing a Dolphins and Redskins theme team. Now, on the surface, this seems like an odd pairing, right? But there are actually a lot of good cards in the game right now that can get Dolphins and Redskins chemistries, or are currently on the Dolphins and Redskins roster, right? So we're going to actually go through this entire roster. I'm going to tell you how much the offense, how much the defense, and how much this total team costs. We're going to go over who you want to use the power-up passes that you should currently have. We're going to also go over the offensive and defensive abilities, who you want to have those abilities on, and how much those abilities and the ability points are going to cost, right? So without further ado, let's just go right into it. Starting with the offensive line, I'm going to go through the team first, and then we'll kind of get into some of the power-up passes and the abilities. So Trent Williams, Richie Incognito, Jason Kelce, Zach Martin, and Laramie Tunsil. Now, your three that stand out here that are Dolphins or Redskins chemistry is going to be Trent Williams, Richie Incognito, and Laramie Tunsil. Briefly on Laramie Tunsil, he is actually the Dolphins left tackle. He's really the Texans left tackle, but he's listed as left tackle. However, he does get right tackle chemistry when you go ahead and train him and get him fully powered up. You can actually put the chemistry for right tackle on, and then his Dolphins chemistry, as well as whatever offensive chemistry you want to put on him, will still be active. So that's how you want to get him at right tackle. You could do the same thing for Trent Williams. Either one, you want to move one or the other over, it really doesn't matter. Richie Incognito is the left guard. He gets Dolphins chemistry. Trent Williams gets Redskins chemistry. And then the two in the middle there, Jason Kelce and Zach Martin. The Dolphins or Redskins do not have a usable center or right guard right now. We'll touch on Zach Martin a little bit later on when we talk about the power-ups, as well as Jason Kelce, but that's who we've got in those positions right there. Coming to the tight end position, we do not have a Redskins or Dolphins player at all. However, there are some players that you could put in this position. Vernon Davis would be the best in my opinion, but he's so expensive that Mark Andrews makes the most sense for the offense and for the abilities that we're going to be running on him, right? The backups, really, these make the most sense when it comes to how you want to construct this team. Austin Jackson, Eric Flowers, Chase Roulier, Brandon Scherf, and Morgan Moses. The center, right guard, and right tackle have Redskins chemistry. The left guard and left tackle have Dolphins chemistry. For the tight ends, we have Mike Gesicki and Adam Shaheen. Both have Dolphins chemistry. Screen grab this, take a picture of it, do whatever you need to, but this is how you want to set up the offensive line and the tight end position. Let's come down to the skilled position, and this is really where the team looks awesome. Starting at quarterback, Dante Culpepper gets Dolphins chemistry. Reggie Bush at running back also gets Dolphins chemistry. We do have Arian Foster here who has Dolphins chemistry as well. And at fullback, we have Raheem Mostert. Now, I'm not saying run Raheem Mostert and Arian Foster. Run one of the other, but just know that Raheem Mostert is significantly more expensive. And in the cost that I'm going to be breaking down here, I actually have the cost as Arian Foster. But just know that if you're going to be using Raheem Mostert, you're going to want to use his Nat Most Feared item by unlocking through the challenges. And then his power-up's about $50K, I believe. So a good bit more expensive than what you're going to spend for Arian Foster when you consider that. And also, if you consider if you don't have his most feared item, it's like $250K, right? If you don't have Raheem Mostert's Nat item, to whereas Arian Foster's only going to cost you like $50K. So the reason we've got two running backs that are that high overall is for the offense that I like to run and some of the meta offenses, it's good to have those two running backs that are pretty solid. So that's why we're rocking with those two there. So you can use Arian Foster or Raheem Mostert. Just keep in mind that Mostert is probably going to cost you a little more unless you have his Nat Most Feared item. At the wide receiver positions, Terry McLaurin, one of the fastest wide receivers in the game, and we have Redskins chemistry with him. We're going to get him +1 speed without even having to put sprinter on him. If you want to put sprinter on him, whatever tier you're at there, obviously he's going to get even more. But let's just look at this card right here if it wants to pop up. Okay, so as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen is the base Terry McLaurin most feared item, it has 93 speed, right? When you power it up, it's going to get 94 speed, and then once we have those 25 Redskins players, which we will with this theme team, you're going to end up with 95 speed. Add Sprinter on there depending on what tier you get to. I think you could get him up to like 97 or 98 speed, probably 97. Probably the fastest wide receiver in the game, and we're pairing him with DK Metcalf. Check out this card here. DK Metcalf, his base item has 92 speed. You power him up, he's going up to 93 speed, right? So a solid pairing when you talk about Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf. The third wide receiver in the slot is Mark Clayton. This is a relatively inexpensive card that gets 3 times Dolphins chemistry. You can put him in the slot. He's going to get 90 speed once we get him fully powered up. So he's going to meet that speed threshold. Yes, it's not to 95, but you're not losing anything with Mark Clayton being out on the field if you do run 3 wide receiver sets. If you only run 2 wide receiver sets, leave that to be Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf. Now, why DK Metcalf? He's not a Dolphin or a Redskin. Simply put, he's one of the fastest wide receivers in the game for his price. You're not going to find many wide receivers that you can get for about 160K power up and item included. This is the guy that you want to put there. And rounding out our backups, we've got Andre Johnson, the level master. He's still not fast enough to be able to use out on the field. Jakeem Grant, this dude is a low-key budget beast. He's coming in, if we can hover over here, he's coming in with 92 speed. Now, the route running and catching statistics are not there, so I'm not recommending using this card. But if you're on a budget, if you've got a no-money spend squad and you're just kind of starting out, take a look at this Jakeem Grant card coming in at 92 speed. He is our kick returner. That way we don't have to worry about Terry McLaurin or Deion Sanders, as you'll see in a second, getting tired and getting winded as they go out on the field. Not that Deion Sanders would be going out on the field on offense, but you know what I'm saying. The backups for running back, we've already touched on Arian Foster. Adrian Peterson gets Redskins chemistry. Kirk Cousins gets Redskins chemistry. Kyle Juszczyk, because there's not really a usable fullback at all for either team. The only one is a Dolphins fullback, Chandler something. I can't remember his last name. He's like a 64 overall. So point being is that you could slide Arian Foster over to this fullback as well. Reason you might want to do that is it is going to put him on that up man spot right in front of the kick returner. So if you've got a guy that likes to kick the ball to the left-hand side of the field where a fullback would be at, you can get a Arian Foster or Raheem Mostert right here if you wanted to do that, since there's not really anybody that's usable in that spot, right? So, and then we didn't touch on Mark Clayton. We did touch on him. Terry McLaurin obviously gets Redskins chemistry. So that's the offense. Let's come down now and take a look at the defense. Now, you're going to have to follow me here with this defense because it looks a little funny, but once we tell you exactly where everybody's going to be playing, it's going to make 100% sense. Starting out at the safeties, we've got Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's only at an 86 overall. Spoiler, he's not going to see the field, right? He is Dolphins chemistry. Kendall Fuller, a Redskin, gets Redskins chemistry. Derwin James, a Charger, not a Dolphin or Redskin, but the best value for strong safety that we can find right now. Same thing with Jonathan Abram. Both of these guys are going to see the field. Jonathan Abram, I did not mean to click on that, but Jonathan Abram, if it'll let me scroll over to him so you can see here, has 92 speed. Spoiler here, he's going to be sliding down into the middle linebacker number 2 spot. The zone coverage is decent for a linebacker at 82. He has 93 hit power. Decent block shed, so he can help out pretty solid in the run game. And that speed at middle linebacker, he's going to be able to cover and stick with those tight ends and those running backs. Same thing with Derwin James here. You're going to see his power-up speed, but he's going to be sitting at about 91 speed as well with very, very similar hit power. I think he's around 90, 91, maybe 88 hit power. But nonetheless, these are going to be our 2 middle linebackers. Touching on the linebackers, Lawrence Taylor and Ricky Jackson. Both of these guys do not have Dolphins or Redskins chemistry, but you'll see in a second why I've got them there. They're our outside linebackers. Thomas Davis has Redskins chemistry. Kyle Van Noy has Dolphins chemistry. These are just backups. They're not seeing the field. Sam Mills, while you can get him all the way up to a 96 overall right now, we've put Dolphins chemistry on him. He's not going to be seeing the field either. London Fletcher gets 3 times Redskins chemistry, so similar to Mark Clayton, this is definitely a guy that you want to have on the team. And then Kevin Pierre-Louis has Redskins chemistry, as well as Reuben Foster with Redskins chemistry also. Coming down to the defensive line, Ndamukong Suh and J.J. Watt are actually going to slide in and play defensive tackle. So our scheme, and one of the meta schemes, is going to be the 4-6 defense. You can run nickel normal, you can run nickel 3-3-5 or nickel 3-3-5 wide. When you're in nickel normal or big nickel over G, I didn't mention that one, but big nickel over G as well, you want to slide these ends, J.J. Watt and Ndamukong Suh, down into defensive tackle, and you want to actually put Lawrence Taylor and Ricky Jackson on those defensive ends as your edge rushers, right? And then Derwin James and Jonathan Abram are going to slide into the middle to play the middle linebacker spots, right? So in big nickel over G, which is one of the main meta formations right now that stops a lot of offenses. It's good against the run, good against the pass. Or nickel normal, which is solid as well. That's how you want to set that up, right? And Ndamukong Suh does get Dolphins chemistry. J.J. Watt, he's a Texans player, doesn't get either one. But he is the best value right there for some of the abilities that we're going to be using. That's why we've got J.J. Watt there. Leroy Glover, he's our team captain, and he's got Dolphins chemistry. Deron Payne has Redskins. Matthew Ioannidis has Redskins. And then Jonathan Allen also has Redskins. We do have Deacon Jones powered up twice here at 84 overall with Redskins chemistry. And then Ryan, that should be... Yes, that's Redskins chemistry. That's right. And then Ryan Kerrigan with Redskins chemistry as well. Coming over to the corners. Now, follow me on these as well. We've got Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who gets Redskins chemistry. Tracy Porter, who gets Redskins chemistry. Byron Jones gets Dolphins chemistry. And then we've got Deion Sanders with Redskins and Cortland Finnegan with Dolphins. Now, if we're not using Minkah Fitzpatrick and Derwin James and Jonathan Abram are sliding down to middle linebacker, what you want to do is you want to utilize Deion Sanders and Cortland Finnegan as your safeties. You definitely want to have Deion because he's got a pretty low press. Let's come down here. You'll see our slot cornerback here is Tracy Porter, right? You definitely want to have Deion. You could potentially use Tracy Porter as the other safety and Cortland Finnegan as your slot cornerback. Play around with that. Just kind of see how it works. DRC and Byron Jones are definitely going to be your outside corners. There's no question about that. Tracy Porter, Deion Sanders, Cortland Finnegan. Play around. Figure out who you like best in the slot. Figure out which one you like best playing at safety. That's how you want to construct this defense, though. Now, before we get into some of the abilities and how much all this costs, we're going to go over the special teams. Tress Way, one of the best punters in the game. He is a Redskin. He has Redskins chemistry. He's the punter. Jason Sanders is a 76 overall with not very good stats. He's the kicker. What you want to do is spend a little bit extra. It's like $6K on Joey Sly. For the value and for how many coins it is, he's only coming in at roughly $6K, and he's got 84 kick power, right? So this is how you want to construct this. Put him as the kickoff specialist. That way, you can sub him into kick field goals, but not lose out on Jason Sanders getting that Dolphins chemistry, right? That's how you want to do that. Punt returner is Jakeem Grant. Just to kind of show you what we've done down here, you've got Ricky Jackson as the rushing left end, Lawrence Taylor as the rushing right end. You've got Ndamukong Suh as the rushing D tackle and J.J. Watt as the rushing D tackle. The way to get Derwin James and Jonathan Abram in as your sub linebackers on those nickel packages, it won't let me do it right here on Muthead, but in the game you can. You can put both of them as your sub middle linebacker 1 and 2. Then when you go in to make those adjustments during the game to put the players where you want to, you can put them, Derwin James and Jonathan Abram, respectively, in those middle linebacker spots. That's how you want to do that, right? Now, if we come all the way down, we notice here that we do have 24 Dolphins and 23 Redskins, right? So the goal is to get 25 Dolphins or Redskins on either one. Reason for that, not on either one, but 25 Dolphins and 25 Redskins. The reason for that is once you get to 25 players, you get that +1 speed, which is super valuable when you're running a theme team because you're going to be lacking in some areas. If you get that +1 speed, though, across all of those important players, I mean, it goes without saying how important that is. Now, we're not there yet, obviously, but the cool thing about it is that you've got your uniforms, you've got your coach, and you've got your stadium that also give you those additional chemistries. So you want to spend it doesn't matter. I would probably, just being the OCD guy that I am, I would probably go with the Dolphins home jersey, the Redskins coach and the Redskins away jersey, and then I would go with the Dolphins stadium. That way when you're at home, you can make use of the Dolphins home jerseys and the Dolphins home stadium, which I like better than the Redskins. When you're on the road, you're at a different stadium, you can use the Redskins jerseys, which their away jerseys look not too bad. And then you can have the Redskins coach because you can just put in another coach as your team visual. And then when you're at home and you've got the Redskins coach, Ron Rivera, I don't know why I'm calling him Redskins coach. You've got Ron Rivera coaching the Dolphins at home. Well, you can get Brian Flores because you can just do the team visual and sub him in, so then it looks uniform. That's the OCD in me coming out. So, how much does this team cost? Well, the offense costs about 1.5 mil. The defense costs about 1.3 mil, so that's going to be a total of about 2.8 million. This is not counting the training, right? So you're going to actually end up spending more once you go ahead and power all of these cards up that need to be powered up in order to get the abilities, in order to get them to their best overalls, right? So 2.8 mil, not counting the training, right? What does that mean? Well, you should be able to swing this, right? As far into the game as we are right now, with all the power-up passes that you'll have, with some of the nat items that you'll be able to have, you should be able to swing this, right? And if not totally, you should be able to get pretty close. But what power-ups are we going to be using? Well, you should have 4 62 to 81 overall power-ups right now. You're going to want to use those on either Raheem Mostert or DK Metcalf. So if you choose Raheem Mostert, go ahead and put that power-up pass on him so you don't have to buy his 80 overall card or his 81 overall card. If not, use it on DK Metcalf, right? If you're going to go with Arian Foster, use it on DK Metcalf. The second one is going to be Laramie Tunsil. The third is going to be Terry McLaurin. And then the fourth one is going to be Ndamukong Suh, right? So that's who you want to use that 62 to 81 overall power-up pass on. You should have 4 82 to 84 overall power-up passes that you want to use on Trent Williams. You also want to use it on Richie Incognito. You want to use it on Derwin James, and you want to use it on Byron Jones, right? So that's the 4 that you want to use that 82 to 84 power-up pass on. For the 85s to 86s, you want to use it on Mark Clayton, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Jason Kelce, right? So Mark Clayton is pretty obvious. He's an 86 overall. His 86 overall card's $40K. Minkah Fitzpatrick's not seeing the field, but the thing with Minkah Fitzpatrick is that he's not going to be unusable for the entire duration, right? And he does get the Dolphins chemistry. Go ahead and use that power pass. We're not using it on anybody else, right? It would literally just be sitting there because it would be useless on anybody else just because nobody else has the 85 to 86 overall card that we need. Finally, we have Jason Kelce, and he's not a Dolphin or a Redskin, but once again, we just have an 85 to 86 overall power-up pass just laying around, right? So those are the 3 that you want to use that power-up pass on. For the 87s to 88s, you want to use that on the 88 Trent Williams. The second one, you should have 3 of these, right? Just like the 85 to 86s. So you should have 3 87 to 88s. Trent Williams. Second one you want to use on Zach Martin, right? The reason being is that there's no right guard that's Dolphins or Redskins. So for Zach Martin, he's the best overall right guard that we can get without having to spend anything other than just his power up and what it is to train him, right? So we can get him to an 89 overall because we've got that extra 87, 88 power up pass just laying around. That's what you want to do with that one. You got a third, and I'll be honest with you, there's nobody else that we have on the team here that we can even put it on. So maybe there's somebody else that you want to run with that I'm not using right now that you want to put that power up pass on. Maybe J.J. Watt down here, actually. That's who you want to throw that on. He is an 87 overall. That's who you want to put that power-up pass on right there. It's going to be J.J. Watt. Do that. Forget what I said, no one not having it. J.J. Watt's the guy that you want to run that one on. You should have 2 89 to 90s. For this one, you want to run it on Lawrence Taylor, and you want to run this other one on Mark Andrews, right? Those are going to be the most expensive 89 to 90 overall cards that you're not going to have to buy because you can put the pass on them. Finally, you should have a 91 to 92 overall. This is a no-brainer. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. He's going to be most likely with you throughout the entire duration. This is not going to be his last card he's going to get in the game. Go ahead and power him up. It's going to save you a lot of money, that's for sure. A lot of coins, rather, that's for sure. So, you don't have to buy the Ultimate Kickoff Trent Williams. You could have done the Ultimate Kickoff challenges. So you don't have to buy the Most Feared Raheem Mostert. You could do those challenges as well. And then you don't have to buy the 50 Dante Culpepper, because you can do the 50 challenges up through week 7, and you're going to get a free 50 player, and you're going to take that you're going to take that 50 player, you're going to get Dante Culpepper with it, and you're going to plug him right in here. So that's saving you from having to spend $250 to $300K on a 50 player in Dante Culpepper, because you could do that challenge. You could do the Raheem Mostert challenge. You could also do the Trent Williams challenge if you didn't want to use the 87 to 88 overall power-up pass on him, because that was the Ultimate Kickoff player. You do not have to buy the power-ups for the Legends. You can just do the Legend challenges. So for Lawrence Taylor, Ricky Jackson, Deacon Jones, and Deion Sanders, don't worry about spending the 15 or so K on their power-ups. Just go through, you play the one game, you're going to get their power-ups, so you're not going to have to spend the coins on those, right? Okay, so we've gone over how much this team's going to cost, 2.8 mil, not counting training. Gone over who you want to use the power-up pass on. What abilities are we going to be running, right? Well, starting off on offense, we want to put the threat detector on Richie Incognito. Threat detector is going to highlight any blitzing defenders on 3rd and 4th down. It goes without saying how valuable that can be. That's 2 AP. The next thing we want to do is you want to put Edge Protector on Laramie Tunsil. It's only 1 AP, and you want to put it on that right tackle, because you've got Ricky Jackson here on most squads, coming off the left end, who's got insane stats, and he's most likely going to have double or nothing or edge rusher or something like that, right? So you want to go ahead and put edge protector on that Laramie Tunsil or the Trent Williams if that's your right tackle, whichever. It's only 1 AP, and you're going to be happy that you did it. Next, what you want to do is put edge protector on Trent Williams, right? For the same reason. You've got Lawrence Taylor most likely coming off the edge, and he's just going to be able to protect a lot better with Edge Protector. It's only 1 AP, so you've got 3 abilities on the offensive line there, a total of 4 AP rather. Next, we want to put Tight End Apprentice on Mark Andrews. Tight End Apprentice is one of the best abilities in the game. You can do any hot route from any tight end once it's lined up at the tight end spot. Trips tight end, gun bunch, these kind of formations. Anything that uses a tight end that are meta formations, you want to have that tight end apprentice on. It's 2 AP. Put that on Mark Andrews. You want to, for the same reasons, put Backfield Master on Reggie Bush. You can do so many more hot routes with a Backfield Master. You can have so many more options on your offense. It's only 1 AP. Go ahead and put that on Reggie Bush. And then finally, you want to spend 3 AP for 3 different abilities for Dante Culpepper. You want to put Pocket Deadeye, you want to put Quick Draw, and you want to put Gunslinger on him. These are going to make him the most efficient pocket passer that he can be. Gunslinger is very good. It increases the throw power on bullet passes, so you're getting those passes in those tight windows a little quicker, hopefully avoiding interceptions. Quick Draw, you are able to get the ball out when you're under pressure, and then Pocket Deadeye, you're going to get perfect pass accuracy while you're in the pocket. Those 3 play really well and pair really well with Dante Culpepper. So that's a total of 10 right there. That's your offense. That's exactly what you want to do. On the defensive side of the ball, what we want to do defensively is we want to put inside stuff on Ndamukong Suh and J.J. Watt. Now, the reason that we want these 2 at left and right end to slide down and play D tackle, and we don't want to put inside stuff on, say, Leroy Glover, is you're actually saving 1 AP by having it on a left end and a right end as opposed to a D tackle, which is 3 AP, right? So that's pretty important. And Ndamukong Suh and J.J. Watt are going to get better shed animations when the opponents call inside zone or running zone plays right up the middle. So you're going to be locking down that part of the field whenever they're rushing. That just makes the most sense. It will activate once they go down and play D tackle. Don't have to worry about that. Lawrence Taylor and Ricky Jackson, you want to put double or nothing. This is going to allow them to grant dominant pass rushing wins at twice the cost, right? So you have these pass rushing points. So they're going to get those dominant pass rushing wins. It's going to cost more. So it's not going to be activating all game, but once they get to those higher overall pass rushing points, this ability is going to activate. And I mean, it's pretty much going to be a race to the quarterback, whoever Lawrence Taylor or Ricky Jackson get there first, right? That's 1 AP apiece. You've got 2 AP for J.J. Watt and Ndamukong Suh. So we're sitting at 6 AP right now, right? Next, what do you want to do? These are all 1 AP abilities and very solid. You want to put Acrobat on Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, Tracy Porter, and Byron Jones, and then you want to put Outmatched on Derwin James. Now, Acrobat is going to get you those diving SWAT and interception animations. Outmatched is going to allow Derwin James to match up better with running backs. So running backs that want to run that table route, that want to run that Texas route, the little angle route over the middle of the field, Derwin's going to be able to stay with them a lot better because he has Outmatched on him. And then, like I said, Acrobat is going to allow your defenders to make those diving and those SWAT animations, those diving animations for SWATs and interceptions. Acrobat is only 1 AP. Outmatched is only 1 AP. Double or Nothing is only 1 AP, and then you've got the inside stuff with J.J. Watt and Ndamukong Suh. That's 2 AP. That's a total of 10 AP, right? So we've spent all our AP there. Our offense is looking good. Our defense is looking good. It's a very solid team, man. A very solid core. You can run a lot of good, solid offenses with this. If you want to run other abilities on there, be my guest, right? This is just some of the things that I've seen that's working for a lot of the pro players, that's working for a lot of, good Madden players that are running meta formations, right? This is some of the stuff that they're doing. And the Redskins and the Dolphins have a solid enough squad that you can put players in positions to do that and get that +1 speed, right? So I hope you did enjoy this video. It went a little bit longer than I would have liked, to be honest with you. I did not realize how much explaining there was going to be in this video, but I hope I was able to make myself clear, and I apologize that I'm not able to get on Madden right now. I don't know when I will be able to, but as soon as I'm able to, man, I'm going to be making more Madden 21 content. You can better believe that. But I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like rating. If I wasn't clear on something, if you have a question about something, anything that we covered, something I did not cover, leave me that in the comment section below. Or if you just want to say what's up, man, I love interacting with each and every one of you down in that comment section. And if you do enjoy the content, you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. I'm ImJslay. I'm signing out today. I'll catch you all on my next video.